It's live on your end, my end. It's live on your end, my end. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, we got 7 pre-listeners. Ooh. Hello. Live on your end, my end. Let's go to live. Oh, we got 7 pre-listeners. Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll work the chat. Leaves of Grass. Thanks, Frank. Let me just mute the video chat there. Okay. So, hey, Leaves of Grass, thanks for being in here. So say hello if you're from Frank's podcast. Love you guys.
We love you guys. Okay, I think
It's
I'm
been
coming through
so
now.
long since I've been on the podcast.
It's been so long since Frank's been in with
Say
us,
hello
too.
if you're from Frank's. Yeah, probably about the same you amount of guys. time. I don't
We
know.
love
It's hard
you
to
guys.
honestly, like a nightly live show. It's always fun when it's live. It's just a little hard for me to keep up with it. But I always like
There he
I'll like
is.
tune in for a little bit and watch a little Frank stuff
Heck
from
yeah.
time to time.
Let me see if I can move him over real quick. He's in. Okay.
Oh, Frank's here already?
He's here,
Oh, he's gonna be here in
yes.
the first half. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool, cool.
I'm being silly, and apparently I can't figure out how to get him into the channel. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Oh, this is absurd.
Hang on.
The most prestigious guest that we've had.
Ever.
It's the Cybersmith.
The Cybersmith and Marcel.
Oh,
Oh,
Marcel.
sorry, Frank. Hang on. Let me text you so you know what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
We're getting Frank.
We're smuggling Frank across the ANCAP border right now. That's exactly what we're doing.
Chat.
We don't actually even control the security for our own political state. So
we've outsourced it.
We have
to
outsourced
the lowest
it.
bidder. Now, this is one of those things. I remember, Frank, last time we were talking about like mechanics of like a Ancapistan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking about today. I was like, oh, in Ancapistan, homeless people probably couldn't afford police protection services. So you can evict them from the sidewalk whenever you want. Like you have police insurance and everything like that. They don't. So just
okay,
like,
I need to give him a role. That's what I need to do. Roles. Just shitpost enjoyer, of course. All right, now let's see if this will do it.
Oh!
Aha!
Ladies and gentlemen,
we have Frank. We've got him. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
We've got him.
We got him.
How you guys been?
We have been fantastic.
Lovely.
We're very happy to have you on. How is it over in the East Coast right now?
It's nice. It's end of. We're talking weather, or are we talking just like life?
I mean, weather, life, it's all the same thing, man.
Well, life is all right, and good. It's just the conditions.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
I hear. I just want my money. That's all I want. I just want my money. I just want what's mine.
Yeah.
That's all. You guys know what I mean?
Yeah, it's my money, and I want it now.
It's all I want.
Oh, JG, where?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, my piano teacher, when I was a little kid, one of the first songs, like you learn like Green Sleeves or like what's the one? Is like
Chops.
Chops, yeah, Chops. Green Sleeves and Chops, and then he had me learn out of the blue. It was like, oh, what's this song? I'm like 11. It was "Pay Me My Money Down." Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down.
Excellent.
Still remember it.
Excellent.
Hey, what's that? What's that Offspring song? Pay the Man.
Yep.
It always like was weird to me listening. The Beatles. Did you ever listen to Taxman? You know Taxman?
It sounds
And,
like it sounds like Batman.
Yeah, but like they say, that's 19 for me, or 1 for you and 19 for me, and that's a reference to the top marginal tax rate in the United Kingdom at the time, which was 95% tax rate. So the Beatles wrote that song in a protest because they were getting taxed at 95%. That's what 19 to 1 is.
No wonder they fled the Americas.
Yeah.
I know.
Wow.
I know. 95. Didn't the United States? Didn't we get as high as mid 90s?
Maybe at some point, like under Eisenhower. Or
I
something
feel
like
like
that?
Eisenhower, or maybe during World War II, that was like supposedly a thing. But also, I feel like this is like a topic that comes up in economic circles a lot. There are a lot of exemptions, like especially for like participating in the war effort or something like that. But we should still look this up. So Max is our version of Jamie.
All right. Okay. This is Google Gemini AI's top result right now, which is that it was 94% in 1944. So that's an FDR. Well, or maybe like a Truman thing.
FDR,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that was the top bracket.
That was the top bracket, which probably was like $1 million or something like that.
That's what you have to ask in next. So, like, what qualifies to get you into that bracket?
Yeah. Let's look into Jamie, myself. Let's
You need to
bring
have a
it up.
7-inch dick.
6
If you-
foot,
if you-
6-pack abs,
You could tax
6-figure
those
income.
6'4", 6-pack abs. Then you're gonna get taxed at least 95%.
Exactly. They bring out a
okay.
caliper and they check your body fat too. So if your body fat's up, like,
Well, that tells me the top rate, but it doesn't tell me what the income was. Oh, all income above 200K. So, I mean, that's definitely like way more back in 1944, right?
And the
So-
question is now ask Google Gemini, what is adjusted for inflation? What is
I mean,
200?
I'll go to BLS.gov. That's what I use normally. It might be a bad government statistic, but at least it's like the official government statistic.
200K in 1944 money is equivalent to the buying power of $3,671,000.
Yeah, $3,700,000. Yeah, something $1,000. Yeah. Wow. So that was the top marginal rate, and now
Okay,
it's ours kicks in at what, like at 400K or something like that.
No. Now do this. What is 94% of 3.6 million?
Well, yeah, it would only be the income over the whatever, but I guess that's around 2.7. No, 2.9.
3.3.
It's also disgusting. They wouldn't take
That's gross.
3.3 million out of 3.6, would they? What did you just say, Max? It's just a certain. It's the money above a certain what?
Above the 200K, but like, I mean, yeah, it's essentially they would take an inflation adjusted 3.3 million. So you'd earn 400,000 at the end of the day.
Ow.
In 1944 dollars, which I mean, I guess is good for anybody, but like, damn.
It's like when you win the lottery in California and you win $10 million, and after taxes you walk away with like 1.8, and you're like, well, it's 1.8 million. Like, can I really complain? And you're just like, but California essentially wins the lottery.
Oh yeah, I got 1.8 million dollars in California. I can now buy like a tiny home,
Yeah.
that's next to a crack, like den or something like that.
On Skid Row.
I can get
Yeah,
I can get a large latte once a month for the next year. I'm set. All right, so I'm
Thank God.
gonna throw our intro up real quick. It takes a couple of seconds, and then we'll get rolling into the show.
All right.
And here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of The Altar, episode 185. Tonight, we have a special guest. We have Frank of Quite Frankly. And we're going to
Thank
talk.
you very much.
We're going to talk about some stuff. Frank, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. It was a lovely pre-show. It was very economical. It was fantastic.
I wasn't looking down at the Discord, so I didn't know if this was pre-recorded. And then you started. you start talking to me again. I thought, oh no, this is real. It's really happening.
Oh, this is real. This
Yeah.
is,
Oh, yeah. And I monitor the YouTube chat too, so I see those folks up there. We got Missile Launch. We got Cool Woody. We got Leaves of Grass. We got V. Cool Woody
Amanda's
says-
on. Corey J.
Morgan B said, Frank sent me here. Thank you all for being here. This
Thank you all
is
very
our
much.
most attended live episode in
In a while.
minute.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. We hope you can stay around for maybe some future episodes. We'll get Cybersmith to talk about UK politics again.
Ooh,
That'd
that'll be
very interesting.
fantastic.
Things continue to develop there. I'd love to have Marcel back at some time.
We definitely need to have Marcel would be an excellent individual to have on if we want to discuss what is going on between Israel and Gaza, for example, which wasn't really
Yes,
planning
great
on getting
idea.
on a whole lot into tonight. But Frank, as our guest, we were wondering what if there was anything you would like to open discussion on, like what's burning on your mind right now. I mean, I'm sure time's limited. We could go on forever, I'm sure. But you have the floor.
Well, first of all, Marcel, he was. I think I had him on last year. Well, when was Milei starting to? When was he elected in Argentina?
I thought it was like September 23 or maybe it's 24.
It was because it was around the time that Milei was like, he was throwing the
23.
chains around.
December of
Yeah.
23.
That's sometime after that. Maybe it was like spring of 24 then that I had Marcel on last. That was great. That was a great time. And yeah, he's a gem. Let me see. What the hell were you talking? I don't know, guys. I really wish that I could teleport you all to New York over the course of the next 36 to 48 hours because we're having the, quite frankly, Jamboree on the 5th and on Friday night it's the VIP at the studio. So really the only thing on my mind right now is
That.
getting all that prepped and it's going to be really interesting to, after all these years to finally have an in-person event. So I'm just contemplating the life that we all are most comfortable with in the digital world and how that kind of veil, that buffer of separation is going away for this weekend. And it's just going to, just going to be good to, I don't know. I'm excited and nervous.
Of course.
Yeah, I doing a transition from like online to in-person friends is strange because like I remember last time I was in Ben's neck of the woods and I like dropped in just for like a visit and I was like I forgot to even like take a picture together.
I know, right? Like
We're like
I was literally
hung out
wearing
for,
a
like, half an
suit.
hour.
I was wearing a suit for the occasion, so I was ready. We would have looked fantastic together, and we just didn't think about it.
I was on like a 14-hour road trip.
Yeah, man.
The last time that last time wait Ben, was the last time we hung out the first time we hung out?
I think so. I think it was just one time when I was driving south to Florida. I stopped in Westchester for the evening. It was a lovely time. And yeah, we were in the studio, I remember. I was on, and then we hung out a little bit afterwards with a couple of your brother, your friend. A lot of people there. A lot of good people.
Had a couple people there, but I remember that was like one of your last nights as a New York resident. It was right
Yes.
before you flew to.
Yes, so that was probably 2019. Wow. Man,
crazy.
time just moves.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's nuts, and the fact that we all found like there is a very specific group of friends I have that I met on Tumblr, and I still go on Tumblr once or twice a week just to see what's percolating, and there's always something interesting there. There's always some kind of a. I used to love reading long threads of gun control debates. On like the earlier, quite frankly, episodes, and I would love bringing on OPs and so Tumblr was a very important part of those early years of, quite frankly, they really were because most of my guests were bloggers there.
Yeah, I think Tumblr has always been like this back burner of like internet original content. There's very few places that actually have original content on the internet. Used to be like 4chan and like Newgrounds and stuff like that back in the day, and then like moved to Tumblr, like microblogging. Then Tumblr got kind of nuked a little bit after like the porn ban, which is interesting. And then like I think
Things
like-
went downhill once they banned the porn.
Yeah, man.
well, I'm not even saying that, because like it carried on as like real content for a while. I think the thing is that like the free speech
I know what you mean.
window got moved over, like it was missing for a minute, frankly. And like Tumblr honestly had better rules, or at least you could go more under the radar than on like old school Twitter or whatever. But I think now that like Twitter is generally like you can get away with pretty much anything outside of like
Death
you know,
threats.
actual illegal things.
Yeah.
I think Twitter's like probably where the main OP or like original content generation is, or by volume. But there's also a lot of bots. It's pretty horrific on the spam and everything like that.
I will say
But
though,
that, you would
so
expect that.
I do kind of regularly browse Instagram, and I will say a lot of the memes on Instagram that get popular are just screenshots of Tumblr posts.
Yeah.
Some of them are like
Exactly.
pretty dated, like I'd say over 5 years, but a lot of them too are pretty recent, and like it's I'd say it's a major source of content. Like on your FYP, most of us right now, if we scroll long enough, we'll probably go through a couple screenshots of Tumblr posts. It's either that or Twitter posts. But Tumblr was like,
Even if you browse like Facebook
yeah,
for a while,
Mhm.
you'll see screenshotted Tumblr posts,
And
and you'll be
it's-
like, "Oh, I remember I commented on that thread like in 2015 or something stupid like
you're
that."
just like, wait, I know that guy.
Yeah. I've seen quite
Where's
a
Gary
few-
Friedkin now?
No, here's where I'll definitely go to Tumblr this time of year, because this time of year is when all of those old accounts that those seasonal accounts that I followed come to life again. So, for example, like right around now is when you're going to get the autumn accounts are going to come alive, and it's going to be like days until Halloween. And then no matter what, around September is when it's like the days until Christmas accounts start popping up. But the one thing that Tumblr has not done like Instagram, and it's not that it's a Tumblr thing, it's just how people are posting. But on Instagram, the shit that really is good when it comes to especially nostalgia stuff, not necessarily liminal spaces, but even though liminal spaces, those memes are really big on Instagram as well. But the like 1990s Christmas nostalgia or the 1990s Halloween nostalgia, where it just gets it is very VHS-y and grainy and Polaroid images of front yards with snow with the Christmas lights glowing underneath them, and they have a little bit of Frank Sinatra singing on top of it, and then my heart just breaks into 15 million pieces. And I'm like, oh.
Oh,
I think the thing
Can we go
about
back?
like the corners of IG and Tumblr still very much caters to like the aesthetic, like the aesthetics blogs, or like that certain like genre of like autist who's like, I'm super into fucking trains in the snow. And you could go follow Trains in Snow blog or whatever, and you could scroll for 20 hours through every picture of a train in snow for your like all that stuff, and you'd be like, oh yeah, and they're not doing it for fame. That's the thing about like Twitter with the spam, is how bad X is at this point. Is that there's just so much spam compared to like just people doing it for pure love of the game.
There's
They're
also
like,
an
I gotta
element of
collect
like
every picture with a 5-leaf clover.
there's an element of performativeness to it too, because it's like if you're just doing it for the love of the train, you really don't care. Like you're doing it for you mostly, just because you enjoy it, and you're putting that out there, and you're like, whoever likes it'll pick it up. Which is also a reason why websites like Reddit, for example, despite the fact that they're literally controlled by the CIA, are so insufferable, is because most Redditors are like the people you would run into in your day-to-day basis, who are very performative and like just love to waste everyone's time.
I think there's also like Tumblr's one of the only anonymous sites that's left, because like I think for X, you have to have like a phone number, and it's like, there's a phone number attached to an email attached to what is nominally my face. So like, kind of hard to have like a burner where you just feel free to post anything you want. I think
But on
Tumblr.
Tumblr is just an email,
Yeah.
man. Like you just
Yeah.
make a new email. You could make a series of emails and have series of Tumblr accounts. That's happened.
shit.
People still do that.
Man, aren't you on?
Some-
Aren't you on to like Heisenberg?
They could be anywhere. They could be in this group chat right now.
I'm like I'm on to Heisenberg. What?
Like how many accounts deep are you now?
So
Like,
I am on only my third iteration. The original based Heisenberg went for a while. I want to say that got nuked back in 2021-ish. I made a joke about the trans folk that they did not take light. Well, it was one of two things. It was either a joke I made about dead names specifically, or it was because there was this dude who goes by like Oxford comma is his handle. He was going around and he was specifically so he was like picking fights with like conservative women and specifically like pro-life women on Tumblr, and he would always get backed into an ideological corner, and when he would basically something along the lines of, well, I hope you get raped, so I hope you understand what it's like to have the need to have like free and legal abortion. And it was really like, of all the douchebaggery you experience, like a left-wing dude especially, like wishing sexual violence on women regardless of their political affiliation because they disagree with him, and they're not even necessarily name-calling or being nasty or swearing, they're just making good arguments, and that's always where it ended up. That's where he loved to go. And I made a comment something along the lines of, you know, man, one of these days this edgy internet persona you have is going to bleed into real life, and you're going to find yourself in an argument with a real-life woman on the streets of, I think he lived in like Pennsylvania or some shit. It was either Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. I don't know which one. I think Pittsburgh. But you're going to find yourself on the streets of Pittsburgh one day, and you're going to be in an argument with a woman for whatever reason about abortion, or maybe just anywhere in the world, and you're going to make this fucking comment, and you're going to make it to the wrong woman, and she's going to draw on you and mag dump into your chest. Hopefully, that's what happens. And it was either that, which, okay, you know, I'm technically wishing violence on someone. My bad. That's wrong, I guess. Or it was a trans joke I made. And the trans joke was something along the lines of, the reason they call it a dead name is because it's the name they go back to referring to you as after you kill yourself.
Oh, well,
Which probably did it, man. That was like, between the two, they were like, yeah, okay, we're nuking you. Which, fair.
it could have been a 50-50 thing. Who knows?
Yeah, 50-50. But, and then I came back for a little while.
They might have a strike system.
A strike system. It's like 3 or 2 if it's really bad. And then I was Rocky Mountain Juhadin for a while. And then I just went back to based Heisenberg, but high is spelled high like I smoke weed high. Allegedly.
My gosh.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man. I still got my. Then again, I never really did any major post. There was one time I was like, okay, maybe this could be a nice driver for the show, and it was for a little while. But I barely post. I barely reblog. I just lurk and I still love it. I still love it. It's a nice little escape, and it's got its own little lore, and there you go.
I think Tumblr, as far as like a continuous community that like has its own internal memes, and like 4chan was like this for a little bit, although you know obviously it's being operated by the Mossad towards the for a while, but just the way that like things have this continuity where like you can still look at those old posts about like, oh, I stole my shoelaces from the president or stupid stuff like that. Like, it kind of continues there. And then there's just famous moments that get memed, like all the
Tumblr Con
kills posts.
Oh, communism kills.
Con.
What about when Snopes spent like, I don't know, 3 rounds fact checking the image set that was going viral on Tumblr of Joe Biden.
The burying the dog.
Burying the dog.
Oh my God! Yes.
And so that's like a YouTube or like a Twitch YouTube streamer that does like video
That's
games.
fantastic.
And
His name was
their streams are so fucking funny. I love them.
That is
4Chan.
on par with, I don't know if you guys remember, it was Trump's first administration when they were going over, it was the Trump dossier that the Steele guy had compiled. And I remember that BuzzFeed specifically posted what they thought was a correct version of it. And literally in there, they were going over transcriptions of what were supposed to be like bugged microphones or microphones in hotel rooms that Trump was in. And supposedly one of the quotes was, "If you don't reply to this post, your mother will die in her sleep tonight."
Wait. You broke up. Am I frozen?
Oh, hang on.
I heard it.
Okay. So, Max, did you hear me?
Oh, am I frozen?
No, we can hear you,
I
man. I mean, your
hear you
feed
too.
might be. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You guys are breaking up. Sorry. Let me
Uh-oh.
see if I can.
It's
Oh,
on
man.
You guys talk. I'll figure this out.
You see, this is what happens when I bring up stuff about the Trump dossier and how it was, like, possibly bullshit, and all of a sudden we start getting, like, a signal interruption to the show. Like, okay. All right, man. Yeah, don't want people to know about it, man. But, yeah, just little things like that.
I have like fucking gig fiber internet. This is ridiculous.
You need more fiber, bro.
He's got that. He's
I
got
need a
that
wider
NASA,
fiber.
got that NASA internet.
Yeah. All right, you're coming
Oh my
through
God.
pretty clear right now, man. Like, is it any better for you?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry.
all right.
Yeah. I have. What was the punchline? Because you
So
broke up right.
the
or I couldn't hear
punchline,
you right
oh my god, the
punchline came in.
punchline was supposedly Trump in this transcription for the what they thought was the correct version was he goes, "If you don't reply to this post, your mother will die in her sleep tonight."
Trump said that.
Yeah, so that's what they said he said, and if you spend any time just lurking any board on 4chan, especially back like early 2000s, that was like every other fucking joke, man. Like, if you don't reply to this post, if you don't get repeating digits in this post, your mother dies in her sleep. Like, it's something stupid like that. And it somehow got into what BuzzFeed thought was the correct version of the Trump dossier, and they posted that shit.
Hold on. Let me jump. Where the hell's the chat that I can give to you guys? The live waiting room. Where's the best general chat?
So,
I think we're looking at the YouTube chat. Is
we just
where like the public is.
admittedly, guys, we're not used to this many people talking. Like, we love all of you and we're glad you're here, but admittedly, we're kind of used to checking it like once in a while and like our
Okay, so
7
I'll read out
viewers.
chat.
Yeah.
Missile Launch says 420 Blaze It. Victoria Valone said, I dead named Vicky because who wants to be Icky Baloney?
Fair.
Missile Launch says, an anime blog I follow got nuked out of nowhere after 12 years. A lot of people are sad about it. Oh, were they posting hentai or something?
Or some maybe, yeah. Like or Tumblr for a while had like an
Wally or whatever.
yeah, had, yeah.
That sounds like a stern warning. You got
me.
3 guys and not one of you reading the chat.
Here we are. Yeah.
Okay, so Missile Launch says, remember that druid guy. Who's the druid guy? Do you remember the druid guy?
I kind of remember a couple of Tumblr blogs that were like Druid. Oh man. Missile, refresh us.
What is it about like modern pagans where like it only comes in the flavors of like blue-haired like witch girl who's trying to poison Trump telepathically, or like neo-Nazi with like face tattoos that is also like morbidly obese or something like that?
No, Joe Biden didn't bury a dog on stage at a campaign rally.
And I love how it was. It was like this obviously
False!
reverse video.
False! Thank God.
Of like them
They
like
actually have to say.
the thing is like those,
say
those
piss
like
vortex.
Chinese dudes or wherever the original video came from, they definitely buried
Piss
the dog
vortex.
so they could unbury it for videos for clicks. You know, like there's no way that they knew there was a dog underneath those.
Okay,
clicks,
Max, libertarian druid. Does that strike a bell? Does that ring a bell? That kind
right?
of.
Ooh.
I feel like we're
that.
getting. Oh God, I feel an entity in the past. I feel it. I can't like. Oh my God. Oh, was it the dude who got like bragging about the fact that he was wearing his roommate's underwear? Who's a girl, so like he was wearing his roommate's panties, and like went off about how. Because if that's the same dude, then like I think he officially. I don't know if he got officially.
I don't want to be implicated in some libel or slander case.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
man.
totally could believe that.
Like,
I remember that one, but I don't know if it was that.
I don't know if
particular
it's
guy.
that guy, but there was a guy who went on Tumblr and bragged about that, and I think he got pretty hardcore bullied off the site. I don't know, or at least changing his URL or something. I think he was a libertarian. I think you missed a chat. It was filtered. You are indeed humans and have not been replaced. Yes, we're alive. We're alive. We're live people.
YouTube let these go. I don't know. It's okay. What I'm
So there you
wondering about, have you had any flat Earth discussions lately, Frank?
Okay, listen. Listen, I have material building, and one day I have to just do this head on. But I'll tell you, like I like David Weiss. Is that his name? David Weiss.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
He actually lives in Connecticut. He's right next door, and we're
state.
you know, we're kind of in touch. You know, he reached out to me first. I didn't know I was on his radar, but of course I've had audience members suggesting me talk to him for years now, and you know, I feel more comfortable with the whole thing. Not that I'm uncomfortable with it, but I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, I can't prove the Earth is any shape. I can't. You say, Frank, prove it's a globe. I can't. I'll do that well experiment in Egypt. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So, you know, it's one thing for me, who's curious, to listen to two people who know what they're talking about, defending their respective positions on the nature and the shape of the Earth, to monitor and mediate some kind of a dialectic or whatever the hell it is, and just kind of be there and let the audience and myself kind of take it for what it is. Because, you know, if I bring on someone like Max and say, Max, talk about the shape of the Earth, I'll just be like, very interesting, good job. And then with Flat Earth, I mean, there's people out there. I mean, I feel like because that is the challenge to everything that we know, I need to at least have something to add, or some level of educated curiosity that can be articulated in a good way to I don't know, to offer some constructive resistance. And I don't know if I can do that. So I want to get two people down in one room for a topic like that and let them talk. But everybody seems to not want to sit down in front of somebody else because they've been into too many debates. They don't want to do it anymore. Nobody changes their mind. I said, no, duh. I don't think anybody's...
I feel that.
I'll tell you. So I was thinking about this, actually, maybe today or something like that. But I frequently in my real life job actually get like schizo mail, and it's like, you know, like the Unabomber used to send people, you know, packages or whatever. But yeah, I'll get like manifestos in the mail. I should show you the last one I got. But like the guy was talking about how like every TV show that has ever been made is like written about his friend who was abducted by aliens and stuff like that.
Wild. This is great material. Why have you never mentioned this before?
I put it in the like the secret group chat. I should have posted the whole thing.
I mean,
but
you also,
yeah,
I understand not wanting to like expose these people for whatever reason. Like,
no, there's nothing like totally identifying about the content of the letter. Like I could redact like names or whatever. But like, especially when somebody's like on the level of schizophrenic where they think like every single TV show they've ever watched is like literally about their one person friend or whatever. What I'm getting at with this is that I'm trying to say, like, there is like a healthy level of skepticism to have towards a lot of content that we consume, right? And there's a healthy amount of like skepticism that you can approach with like the moon landings and you know the shape of the Earth or nature of reality and science and stuff like that. But you don't want to lose the plot and think that you are the main character, because that's when you start to get into that you're describing like textbook schizophrenia or something like that. So
well, you know, it's gotten to the point, Max, where I used to love doing stories that involve space, and even if I didn't really understand it, I liked anything that was published out there. I want to see, hey, what's the latest? And oh wow, this is pretty cool, and have some like low level conversation about that. Throw it into the mix.
Mhm.
And now, if I think say thanks Tavistock, and now if I say, oh well, here's the latest from the James Webb or something like that,
Mhm.
invariably there will be some contingent of the chat room that goes, wait, does Frank still think this space is real? And and as if, which is, listen, and it's not even a judgment of if you think it's not real and there's nothing outside of the firmament and all that stuff. But
Okay.
but the stance that a person coming from that position takes to make you feel like you're nuts when like you're defending the fringe of the fringe. Don't act like everybody around you is nuts. I mean, you have to interface a little bit more diplomatically. So
Yeah, sure.
I've become just very turned off by the lack of decorum in the entire thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, hey, spend a few nights like observing with like a real telescope, understand how they work, and it's like maybe it's this is where I come down to, and I don't want to sound condescending with like people who have inclinations one way or another, who are like trying to analytically understand it and stuff like that, but um a certain point it's like, oh, you might be in like a logical loop where you can't escape, and I think that's worth entertaining at from all points of view. That's why I said like that thing about like, oh, I think flat earthers might have a point when it comes to like, you need to prove to yourself the things that you believe, not just take everything for granted, right? And so that's why it's like it's worth entertaining to yourself that like, what, well, let's walk it from the other side of the thing, and like let's see how many steps it takes from both sides to get to somewhere that's convincing, right? So that,
I mean,
I'd still be willing to entertain a discussion at some point.
Well,
Hopefully.
if I can get, if I want to be able to, I know that you'd be down to defend the spherical Earth position, and I want to get somebody else to talk to you because I know you'd be polite, and I want to just hear how everybody, one person. I have a whole thing. I have a whole thread over here. For example, let me just hear. This is an old thread. Let me see your flat Earth claims. Let me see. Here we go. I'm not a flat earther, but what is the best evidence showing that Earth is flat instead of a globe? This one guy said on June 30th of 2024. And I saved this thread because all of the stuff inside of it, I said, okay, this is perfect material for taking this thing piece by piece. And let's see here. Can't have a vacuum next to a non-vacuum without a container. Water needs a container to take shape, and it always finds its level. The stars all rotate around Polaris. I can't contest any of that. I don't know. I don't know how to contest that. Now,
So there, I mean, there exist pressure differentials from one area to another that are measurable from like a weather station on the ground, right? So that there's a wind between the two, and that wind speed would be related to the pressure differential, right? So if we're going to go from A to B at the surface level pressure from minus 10 millibars or something like that, produces like a certain amount of wind. Let's project that into vertical space and stuff like that, and then you could calculate what's supposed to be the gravity of the Earth, right? And what's the mass of an air molecule, and can it actually reach escape velocity because of the pressure differential between a vacuum and the Earth's surface? I mean, it's just, that would be the math. right?
And I would be, and I'm sure Ben would agree. I would be interested to hear what the other person had to say to you now, because I don't know what the fuck you just said. You know,
I understand it, but I also admittedly took a couple bong rips before this episode, so I'm like, I understand what's happening. I can rationalize what's happening right now, but do I really? So one other thing I wanted to just like pipe up real quick. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the podcast. It's called the THC Podcast. The host's name,
I know Greg Carlwood.
yes, Greg Carlwood. Thank you. His name was escaping me, but he said something once that really stuck with me, and it's basically if you're gonna assuming like the pantheon of conspiracy theories, walking into the pantheon, and the idea is that if you're going to give time and energy to one specific conspiracy theory, and you're going to hear it out at the very least, you need to be willing to do that with everything. You might have your preconceived notions. Some of it may be complete gibberish and nonsense, but you should give it a shake. You should try, just to give each and every one the same kind of fairness. And I'm definitely paraphrasing exactly what he said, but it's something along those lines. And that's, I think, the way you need to go. And it's also something that, like, most people, I feel like these days, myself included sometimes, just don't really want to do or have the patience to do. Sometimes, admittedly, is because I am being personally a little intellectually lazy, but other times it's because you feel like you have the same conversation over and over and over and over, and you have all of these different outcomes that you could have with it. Maybe you'll go down this tangent, or maybe you'll wind up talking about this, or you'll have to deal with this deflection, or you're not good about discussing this part of it, so you try to avoid that, and eventually it all just becomes the same conversation, and eventually you want to stop having a conversation entirely, and it's just people wanting to just kind of shout at each other, and then go back to their like little circle and just go, yeah, man, and it's just like,
I know, and in the effort of finding common ground, for example, for this particular topic, I tend to think every bit of footage that SpaceX provides us or NASA provides us of some kind of a launch or a spacewalk or something else looks fake as fuck. I just don't. The Mars footage looks fake as fuck. Everything looks fake. And now I look at that and I say, well, we have big, giant organizations just sucking up money, giving us a little bit of a light show and using the money for some other off-the-book reason, especially if it's a government-funded project. Of course, we know there's all different types of reasons why they would just take it and tell us to go fuck ourselves. You know, I believe I would not have a hard time believing, at least I should say, that most of the space race that our parents lived through in the 1960s might have been all bullshit or something like that. I don't know. I still don't have a set idea of what I think happened with the moon landings in 96 or 69, I should say. And because there's just so many intriguing theories about, hey, was there a broadcast that was done to be able to cover up something that maybe they did get there, but they didn't like what they found, and they had to give everybody down on Earth on the surface a little bit something that was easy to swallow, while all the real, zipped up stuff remains secret. And then if that's the case, how do you get the Chinese and the Russians to go along with it? Unless they're all fucking aliens, so. I am in I'm in a bind here because I don't know. I agree that I just don't agree that I don't tend to agree that everything looks fake and gay because it doesn't exist. Like space doesn't exist. Yeah. I think, I don't know. Every time Jeff Bezos' cock rocket goes up into the air, I'm like, that looks like 1997 CGI. Is it not? Like, Max, are these real launches for real? Why do they look fucking fake?
My favorite.
I don't know exactly, like about all these other launches and stuff like that. I mean, you can go to, X and stuff like that, or you can search online. There are a lot of amateur photographers who will take like 100 different angles of like a Starship launch, right? And it's like, Okay, why is it that I can perfectly match up like each angle on this with each of their cameras, like with each of the metadata correct and stuff like that? Like okay, maybe we could fake it. Seems like easier to like actually do this stuff at a certain point. I will say, like, I have physically been to rocket launches before, and like if you're there in person, um, it seems fake too.
Yeah.
I will
My
I will not lie. Like
my
you're there and you're
favorite-
like, that doesn't nothing moves in a way that makes sense to how humans are used to seeing things move, because you're not used to an object that accelerates
like
as
that.
it leaves from the ground, right? Like we have monkey brains that are used to ballistic trajectories of a ball or like a piece of fruit flying through the air or something like that, right? We're used to throwing shit at each other in trees. So like seeing a rocket fucking fly does not make sense when you look at it, just like intrinsically to your monkey brain. Like I will totally agree with you about that. It's wild, but yeah, I've physically seen a rocket go to space, and it doesn't look real.
My
Yeah.
favorite space-related conspiracy, moon landing or anything like that, is that the U.S. government approached Stanley Kubrick to attempt to recreate or make like a fake moon landing, but he was such a perfectionist. The only way he could find to do it was to actually send men to the moon and film them there.
I tell you, and let's not even. Well, it's the same thing with 9/11, and I'll give you an example, especially being a New Yorker over here, and I mean I was in school. I was in White Plains when everything went down at school, but many friends in that work, their parents work down there. I have friends that were down. I mean, we're talking about firsthand accounts. We can say whatever we want about what was going on in those buildings prior to, in the weeks leading up to it, the month leading up to it. I mean, these can't tell me that these are not controlled demolitions. You could tell. We could talk about the insurance bullshit. All the things that point to there's nothing kosher about this situation. Outside of that, you want to talk about people getting married to their favorite conspiracies. Like, I can't tell you how many times that I have just seen people who have lived their entire lives on the other side of the country, who are either younger or way older, and who are telling people who saw things with their eyes that they didn't actually see planes. Now, what were the planes? Were they swapped out? But was there aircraft? I mean, we're talking. They're saying, no, you didn't see it. You didn't see it. You've never seen planes. You've only seen footage of CGI footage or things that. And like, wait, no. I didn't see footage. I was there. I saw it. Now, here's the other crazy thing. I have a friend who was at the Pentagon the day that the Pentagon got hit on September 11th as well. Now, that is one thing that no matter what people tell me, I wasn't there. And I just can't see that being a plane at all. I can't. And to this day, we only got 3 frames of footage from the front gate. But he swears it wasn't a Patriot missile. It crossed the highway across, and he saw the plane do what has been billed as the impossible corkscrew high-speed movement that a novice pilot would never be able to do, that a veteran pilot would have a hard time doing, to be able to graze the tops of the blades of grass and go right into the side of the Pentagon. I had a friend, he's no longer alive, claims it's exactly what happened. He saw it with his own 2 eyes. I can't believe him. I'm like, I say, in that respect, I say, are you sure? Are you like, your eyes didn't play tricks on you? Like, I don't, like, something hit it, but at the same, it's so fucked up, and then everybody gets entrenched in their favorite version of the conspiracy, even though all the versions and the official stories combined, it leads to one thing. We were lied to about something. Like I've told
everything's a limited hangout at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll always either sugarcoat something, or they'll let something out that's bad about it, but they won't tell you the entire bad thing. And as long as you're in this like gray zone of like I don't know exactly what happened, like you can go anywhere with it, right? Like you could jump off from anywhere, and it's like even if they released like a completely unredacted like report of everything that went down and every testimony and everything like that, people wouldn't believe it
There
because
was a
it's been so long, and like obviously like we have such good deep fakes at this point. Like I very much look forward to watching my full video confession of all of the like treasonous crimes that when I
you allegedly
dragged in front of
committed.
the court.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, of course, like I'm gonna see me confessing to everything, like in visceral, real life color at this point. Like it's really fucked up because they have that tech at this point.
There is a sensation I picked up once upon a time, and like it happened a lot when I was 911 dispatching, and it was this feeling like with 9/11 or any other event, like you're looking at like official and unofficial reporting on it. You're looking at unofficial journalists or bloggers that are talking about what they think. They're all versions of the truth, and then you have what actually happened. And I remember experiencing this as a 911 dispatcher working in like an emergency center with like police and fire and medical radios, is that I would often get different perspectives of what was going on with an emergency through the eyes and voices of various first responders on the scene, cops, firefighters, EMTs. I would have my own version talking with like individuals on the scene who were actually there and were telling me real time like, oh, this is on fire, or this person's doing this. And then I would, like the next day or later in the day, depending on what fucking shift I was working, I would get like the local paper and then maybe like a larger news affiliation like WTN or WNYT or something like that doing their own reports of it. And I remember every time pretty much reading these articles and listening to these videos, and I'm just like, what the fuck are these people talking about? That's not what happened at all. And then you realize that like this is happening all the time to varying degrees in every like any outlet these days that could be considered journalistic or fact reporting or anything like that. That could be actual journalism, newspapers, cable TV news, it could be websites, it could be blogs, it could be your average guy on Instagram who makes memes about current events, it could be the person who does the Destiel Dean or Sam Winchester memes on Tumblr that talk about current events. I love you. Donald Trump was just shot in the ear by an assassin, but he didn't die. Like that's how people found out. Like Trump got a shot taken at him for some people, and you look back and you're like, does anybody really actually have the full picture? And it reminds me of this quote. I think it was Michael Crichton who wrote about it once upon a time, about how you're reading a newspaper.
Who wrote the original Jurassic Park.
Wrote the original Jurassic Park. He also wrote a fantastic novel called Prey, which is way more terrifying than Jurassic Park ever is, which I love Jurassic Park. Prey is so fucking scary. I highly recommend it for spooky season. He was reading about how you read an article in a newspaper, and maybe it's something like, from my perspective, something I was directly involved in. Like a high-speed chase that people think happened one way because of one reason, and in reality, the dude had a fucking warrant and was drunk and blah, 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 blah. But they don't talk about any of that because they want to spin it a certain way. And I read that article, and I'm just like, wow, everything in this is incorrect here. This is complete bullshit. Who let them publish this? And then you go to a different article about something else that you're not as closely affiliated with, that you're not as knowledgeable about, and you're just like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And a lot of people don't make that connection. It's I would say it's almost like a fruit of the poisonous tree type deal, where it's like, if one article is so intellectually poisonous, like how can you trust any other article in here to be legit? When you know one major news outlet is lying about something, MSNBC lies, Fox lies, CNN lies, how do you then go to any other outlet that, even if you might really trust it, how can you really for sure know? Like, how do you really sit there and just go, yeah, well, I personally agree with this on more things than others, so I would take this at face value. And even then, it's still, you get to the point where you almost don't believe anything. Like, again, the episode title is frankly, my dear, it's all fake and gay. It is kind of, to a degree. Like, with conspiracy theories, you're right. You don't have your own way of checking. You don't have your own way of, like, testing any of this out. So how do you know for sure? It's interesting to hear varying perspectives, but ultimately, you can't ever know for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've told this story. It's not a story. It's just a funny little factoid. But I've had, I think, 2 people stop watching my show, or at least pronounce or declare they're stop watching the show because I was a shill. Why was I a shill? Well, people just like the word shill. They don't tell you what you're shilling for, whom you're shilling. But I was called a shill because I do not believe that the limo driver took the kill shot on JFK. I have never I've never seen.
I actually have not heard that one. I thought.
I seriously, I was still. It was a limo driver. You can clearly see him turning around and shooting JFK in the head. And I'm like, and every time people roll it down frame by frame, like, I don't see the fucking thing. I don't see. It's like, am I allowed to believe that the kill shot came from the sewer still? Am I in on the conspiracy? Or are we not still in some way agreeing that the official story didn't happen? You know, it's just like my show was sworn off by at least one, I think 2 people, but at least one was very, very vocal about it. I don't remember. It's just like I was just like lit up with all these mentions.
This is where I'm getting at with like the main character syndrome kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, only I know this particular truth and I have to spread it. And it's not, I come at it with zero skepticism. You have to believe me about it. It's
no,
like, there's no process to convince you of it. I'm just asserting it.
Max, the other thing you'll see in that situation is when something happens in the news, the first person, the main character syndrome people are the ones in the chat rooms and the comments going, I've been telling people about this for years. I've been trying to tell people about this for years. Like, I know. Must have sucked. Must have sucked to have been there, known it all. Now, not to say that you can't read the tea leaves and you know.
I want to be on record when they say that they're going to use, or they've been using radioactive isotopes in the stratosphere for weather modification. That I was on record years ago about them doing that, because I heard that from a Los Alamos scientist who developed the hydrogen bomb and tried to whistleblow about it, but got ignored by Congress. So So anyways,
Max, you have mentioned this on the show before. You have mentioned this.
Yeah, I have mentioned this before. So I just want to say that they're doing that, and it will come out eventually. But yeah,
you see, Max can come on, quite frankly, tomorrow, and can talk about the things everything he just said right there. He can put out there that about whistleblowers, the whistleblowers of the past trying to come out talking about atmospheric disruption in some way, or something that would be a great public service for people to know that information, and people will be like, damn, okay, we're getting some inside info, this is great, thank you, Max. And then as soon as we change topics slightly and Max talks about a rocket that he was personally working on to send a small a sensor into space or something like that, people immediately they'll turn on Max and go, space, he thinks he can do rocket gun to space, or like Max had then switched the flip had been switched and now he's in salesman mode. Space is real. Oh, okay. That's the way it'll go. You're just scoffing.
Sorry, it's like, I don't want to pretend like I know everything about everything or something like that. It's just like this is what it's like, one of those things that like I have been on about for a minute. But yeah, I know what you mean. I totally know what you mean. Yeah. Well, yeah, people who will like cherry pick their conspiracy theories And that's the thing, like, have
Mhm.
skepticism towards everything. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, maybe they're not actually doing this thing, but like, there's a private group that's currently, you can watch them. They release weather balloons full of sulfuric, uh, so what is it? Sulfur something, sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere. So it's like a weather balloon goes up 100,000 feet, releases sulfur dioxide, it blocks out the sun. It's literally the plot of Snowpiercer, and these people are just doing it,
Also,
you
the
know, as a
Animatrix.
private, like, yeah, they're doing it out of like, they're like, oh, we're a nonprofit like weather modification group that, like, you donate $5 and we'll send some sulfur dioxide to the stratosphere to block out the sun. We offset like 5 tons of carbon dioxide by releasing one balloon, so send us money. And it's like, um, yeah, okay, so like and this is the thing, like, it's so frustrating. On the other side of, like, if you go to school for like atmospheric science, especially at the graduate level, there are college level classes. We could look probably right now at the class list for like a major university, like, you know, we could go look at NYU or something like that for atmospheric science department and look at what graduate level classes are provided. There will be a class, it'll probably be called like something like atmospheric science or radiative physics or something like that. It's weather modification class. When you read the course description, it's about like how chemicals in the atmosphere and shit like that. And then every meteorologist that goes on the news and talks about it will say, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, of course weather modification's not real. What are you talking, like, that's a conspiracy theory that they would put chemicals in the atmosphere to modify. And meanwhile, Vale Corporation spends $15 million a year injecting silver iodide into the LCL layer of the atmosphere to make snow so you can ski at Vale ski resorts. Like,
Yep.
and this is a public expense from a publicly traded, corporation and stuff
And that's
like
just
that.
to make sure people can ski. And when people, I don't know, the money spent on something as frivolous as that, as tourist attractions. I mean, the Chinese and the Russians, they have bragged about their ability to ensure that certain types of cultural celebrations and all that are not impeded in any way by inclement weather, because they're able to, seed clouds away to draw moisture away from any kind of, like play. I mean, that's
And
it.
that way, like, the cloud seeding works is that you get it either now or you get it later, basically, where you can time where the rain is going to fall across the jet stream, essentially. And so, yeah, if you time the rainfall to happen before it reaches, before that air mass reaches your region, yeah, you could not guarantee, but you could highly improve your chances of clear weather. And it's like with the Texas floods and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they were doing, weather modification, cloud seeding events to try and restore the water table. That's what they're talking, we're thinking about. And it's like, oh, let's think about the second order consequences of getting a year's worth of rainfall in, an afternoon when we seed the clouds here, because we don't, we've never done this particular experiment with this particular air mass over this particular region with this particular humidity with this particular, sun angle and, all the little factors, because it's the butterfly effect at the end of the day. And so it's like, oh yeah, you created 100 or 1,000 year flood because you didn't realize, like, one variable down that line was going to be bigger or lower than what you thought it was going to be. Not that you build a little girls' camp on the flood banks of a river.
Not smart. No.
Like, everybody fucked up on that one, but yeah.
Indeed. Well, listen, boys, I'm about ready to drop, and I wanted to get an hour in with you guys. I'm so glad we did.
Us too.
And I have a big day of prepping the studio for Friday night's VIP, and I'm gonna go take a shower before this night ends completely. I'll be thinking about both of you guys in the shower.
Ooh.
And you let me know. You let me know whenever the hell you do this. I'd love to stop by again soon.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for
And
coming
for
on,
every-
Frank.
Yes, and please, everybody who's watching, subscribe and keep the notifications on so you can come in and hang out. So
Absolutely,
that's
yeah.
what does Matt come on every once in a while?
He
still?
does. He's busy creating his ANCAP child army, so he's
Yeah,
he's just yeah.
How many more children has he had?
He's on 4 now. Like,
I think when I left off with him, he was on 4.
yeah, I just like to bust with him all the time and just be like, hey man, so when's number 5 coming? And he's like, no.
Okay. Oh yeah, 5 and 6 are coming. Don't worry. They just need some time. Anyway, you guys
No,
are great.
he'll have his full squad. They can do crew served weapons, and they'll be able to. They'll have a grenadier, a marksman.
He'll have
It'll
enough
be
for
rolled,
like to crew a small
rifleman.
vessel at this point. Like,
It'll be like a really padded out Battlefield 2 squad. You know,
Exactly.
8 members.
Like Mel Gibson in The Patriot with all the
exactly,
kids.
exactly. Well, Frank,
So-
thank you for joining us. We hope you have a good night. We hope your events this weekend go swimmingly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pray for the enjoyment and safety of all. Thank you.
Of course.
Take care.
You too. Oh, it's so good having Frank on.
Yeah, that was a quality episode, and we managed to like stay on the headline topic.
Yeah,
throughout.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like it's all fake and gay.
It's
Like,
all fake and gay. So, however, those of you who are still watching, we are not fake and gay. We are very real. You can always count on us. We're always telling you the truth. Everything I said about you can never really know. When
I'm
we
just
say
trying
it,
to be a referee,
man.
you know, like I'm calling a ball, and a strike as I see it. That's as good as we can do, right?
I'd also like to point out that right now at the end of our episode, our chat rate is at 4 and our concurrent viewers are 20. So 420! I will hit my bong after this. But yes, ladies and gentlemen,
But
especially
yeah,
all
if,
of you,
if you haven't hit the like button,
hit the
that
like button, hit the
if you haven't
subscribe
hit
button.
that subscribe button, yeah, go ahead and hit the subscribe. We try to do once a week,
Yeah,
just a
usually,
little decompression.
yeah, like right now, basically the way we run is we do it every Wednesday night, 8:30 Mountain Time, 10:30 Eastern Time. That may change in the future. We'll let you guys know, but right now that's going to be it for at least the next couple of months. That may change during the holidays, for example, but we'll see. That being said, though, guys, like Max said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you real MF. And also share us. Send our links to your friends. They can scroll through and they can find some more of our spicier episodes. And maybe it'll be a good way for you to end a friendship with some of your more left-leaning faggoty friends. Or maybe not. Also, yeah, we say the word faggot on this podcast. I didn't want to say it while Frank was here, but not that applies to him. But I don't want to ruin. I kind of wish I had saved. I wish I had saved my shower for after the podcast too, because I want to think about everybody in the shower.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah. Let's all think about each other in the shower tonight.
Let's do that tonight, guys. We're gonna hit the showers and think about each other. Max, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Well, there's only one other thing I'm going to think about in the shower.
Taxation
You know
is
what it
theft.
is. Yes.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be signing off now. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We'd like to thank Frank again for joining us. The busy man these days with a successful show and the events and a beautiful family. And we wish him well. We wish all of you guys well. Stay safe out there. Stay seeking the truth. Remember, you can't stop the signal. And, as always, taxation is theft.